When you go to a restaurant, have you ever thought, if I fail to tip or if I don't tip accordingly, that my server has to pay? Well, the answer is yes, they do. You're probably thinking, well, I'm the one spending money, so why does my server have to pay? Well, yes, you're spending money on your food and your drinks, and your server has to pay what's called tip share. So let's say your total is $100, and the restaurant charges your server 3% tip share. Well, 3% of $100 is $3, and if you only tip $5, your server has to pay $3 to tip share, so that means they only get to keep $2. And if you don't tip at all, now your server is in the red, $3. So yes, when you fail to tip properly or to tip at all, your server has to pay for it. So let's get to what tip share is. Tip share is what the server has to pay the busboys to clean their tables and the bartender to make their drinks. And depending on the restaurant, tip share can be anywhere from 1 to 3%. And tip share is based off of how much the server sells. So say the server sells $1,000 that day. Well, 3% isn't a lot, but 3% of $1,000 is $30. So if people fail to tip or to tip at all, having to pay $30 at the end of the night is a lot of money. And you're probably wondering, well, how does she know? Well, I've been a server for the last year, so I know all about that. You're probably thinking, well, if you want real money, then get a real job. Well, at my job, majority of the servers are college students, and being a server as a college student is a great job because you go to school in the morning and you can work at nights, and you work later on the weekends. You're probably also wondering, well, you get a paycheck, don't you? Well, yes, we do. In the state of Texas, servers make $2.13 an hour, but as a server, you really don't get to see your paycheck. The money that you get at your paycheck usually goes towards paying the state taxes on your tips. So when you fail to tip accordingly, servers don't make that much money. So now you're probably thinking, well, what should I consider or how much should I tip when I'm tipping my server? Well, like I said, you should consider how much you're spending on food and how much you're spending on alcohol if you do choose to drink. And also, at the bottom of your receipt after you pay, the restaurant will give you 15, 18, or 20% tip suggestions, and this accounts for how much you've spent, and it also accounts for tip share. But as the customer, you get to decide 100% how much you want to tip, but please tip accordingly. So over the last few minutes, I've discussed with you why it's important to tip and how you should tip. When you're tipping, remember to include tip share. Also remember that servers aren't just people who can't really get a good job, they're college students. So let's think about this again. Seeing as how it is your money, you should tip the way you want to, but let's just think about this. If you give your server a $5 tip on a $100 ticket, the busboy is getting $3 and the server is getting $2. But who did more for you? The busboy cleaning your table or your server? Food for your thoughts. Thanks for watching.